The Lakers have hit rock bottom because the Lakers and LeBron James are synonymous, and LeBron James has hit rock bottom. Oh. So if LeBron James has hit rock bottom, then the Lakers too have hit rock bottom. Now, here's what we have to understand. Rock bottom, it is relative. It's different for different people.
Yes, it is.
If Elon Musk were to wake up tomorrow morning and be a millionaire, that would be his rock bottom. Now, for so many other people, that would be their mountaintop. But rock bottom is relative. I also have to remind everyone there are several rocks at the bottom. So while you hit the first rock and you think that is the bottom, there is still a further way to descend to. However, for LeBron James, this is rock bottom. Okay. This will be the worst 4-year stretch of LeBron James' history since his first 4 years in the National Basketball Association. Let's make no mistake about it. LeBron James misses the playoffs the first 2 years of his career, but by the fourth one, he was in the NBA Finals, y'all, 2007, playing against the San Antonio Spurs. So LeBron James, Los Angeles Lakers, first year, misses the playoffs. Second year, championship. Congratulations. Shout out to LeBron and the Lakers for the bubble. Third year, eliminated in the first round, and now look at LeBron and the Lakers on the outside looking in. Also, here's what I hate. Because we have now lowered the bar of playoff standards, there's all of a sudden a play-in tournament as of 2020. Now we're not criticizing, we're not assessing the Lakers properly.
Let's go.
A 9 seed has not historically been a playoff team. The Lakers are a 9 seed. History shows us that the Lakers aren't even a playoff team right now. This is rock bottom for the Lakers because it's rock bottom for LeBron James. And LeBron James, as it stands right here and right now, is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
LeBron, not in the playoffs? LeBron a 9 seed? LeBron a first-round elimination? Let's put this in context.
Let's go.
LeBron went to the NBA Finals 9 out of 10 years. And LeBron James is currently a 9 seed. That's all the context that we need to know. For a man that went to the finals 9 out of 10 years to now descend along with this team to being a 9 seed, this is rock bottom. Now, the beauty of being at the bottom, what Jordan Sparks say? No, it's Chris Brown.
Jordan Sparks?
Chris Brown said.
Did you say Jordan Sparks?
Jordan Sparks be singing first and foremost.
I didn't say she did.
But it was Chris Brown and Justin Bieber who said, we can go nowhere but up from here, my dear.
Yes.
Thankfully, the Lakers can go nowhere but up.
Yes.
But as it stands right now, Sal,
what?
It's the bottom of the barrel. It's like catfish, big dog.
Yeah.
Catfish do smack, though.
Yeah. I don't eat catfish. My grandma had one. He looked like a dude. I was like, I ain't never eaten anything looking like him. Little face and little whiskers. And we don't do Jordan Sparks on this show. We do Outkast. We do DJ Quick. We do stuff like that. Come on, man. Get with your boy. All right. Man, you crazy, dog. I missed you because I missed the craziness. That's all. This is not rock bottom. I don't care how you want to define it with your first world rock bottom sounding ass. You sound like these cats around here in America tomorrow. Oh, man, we dealing with this poverty. Leave these borders and then holler at me about some poverty, okay? You already know. Already. You just went back to the motherland, did you?
Yes, sir.
Where can we do that here? Nowhere. Lakers have not hit rock bottom. Let me give it to you 3 different ways. One, you said that LeBron, this is your worst stretch of 4 years since your first 4 years. That means he's been here before. To me, rock bottom means, man, like I've never been here before. There's nothing that is living, nothing that has survived. I am in unfertilized land, and now I can only bounce up. But LeBron has been here before, so to me, that doesn't define it as rock bottom. The Lakers have been here before. When'd you move to L.A., big dog? Because I know when we start working together, but that wasn't day one, was it?
2020, July 15th.
2020.
June 15th.
June 15th?
Yes, sir.
In the pandemic. Okay, so no wonder you don't know a lot about L.A. and these Lakers. Let me just remind you how the Lakers were looking. The Lakers, and this is why I have to bring this up to you, because experience matters. If what you've been through doesn't condition you to be better, then what's the point of going through those experiences? Remember when the Lakers lost 45 games? Because right now they only lost 33. Remember when they lost 47, 56, 65? And 61. Oh, let me just add this other 55 in there. And who was on the team at that time? Kobe Bryant. So not only has LeBron been here before, the Lakers have been here before, and they even been here before with a superstar, a transcendent player like Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. Nah, big dog, this is not rock bottom for the Lakers. What this is adversity to the fullest. Little different. Why? Because everything these Lakers want to accomplish is still in front of them. Think about it. 9th seed. You can clown it all you want. You can still become NBA champion from the 9th seed. Why? Got the play-in tournament. Last year, they got experience in the play-in tournament. They're the play-in champs, damn it. So play-in tournament, goal still in front of us. We got to get healthy, and we got to bring this thing together. But to say rock bottom, I think you're talking about some other world despair, third world despair, not what these Lakers are going through.
So, but I like what you're saying, and none of your facts are wrong.
Well, then it's good.
But relative, you got to remember, this is as bad as it's gotten for LeBron James. Has he seen bad before his first couple years in the National Basketball Association? 2003, 2004, 2005? Absolutely. But back then, you were still playing for what, the San Diego Superchargers? So that was a long time ago. Let me give it to y'all in a manner that y'all can understand. Your boy has dealt with different bouts of COVID over the last 20 months, right?
How many times you get it?
Bruh, it's like the Trinity.
You got it 3 times?
No, I got it twice. Big dog, twice. I was out here.
That ain't a
I was in the
Trinity,
trenches. I was in the trenches. I dodged the last one.
Okay.
The first time I got it, a piercing headache. Piercing from the depths of hell. A piercing headache. So much so that I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, where I am and why am I where I am. Now, the second time I got it, here comes that headache again. So although the reality of the second experience of COVID was not as bad as the reality of the first experience of COVID, as soon as you see signs of it, you already realize, here it comes again. And this is where the Lakers are with LeBron James. It's not to say that they haven't experienced bad before. You already gave me the litany of history with Kobe Bryant. It's not to say LeBron hasn't missed the playoffs before. He missed the playoffs in LA his first year.
Thank you.
But LeBron James, healthy, has not missed the playoffs since the 2004 season. So when I talk about rock bottom, I'm talking about, here we go again with LeBron James missing the playoffs. You speak about the Lakers, I speak about LeBron James, because to me, they are 2-1. Yep. As it stands right now, the Lakers and LeBron James are married. And so for LeBron James, it is rock bottom. Thus, for the Los Angeles Lakers, it is rock bottom because lastly, when LeBron came to LA, he was bringing all of his greatness with him. As soon as LeBron arrived in LA, the Lakers realized the days of being terrible are over. We only missed the playoffs, Lakers fans speaking. We only missed the playoffs 4 times from 1961 to 2013. LeBron is back. The days of missing the playoffs are over. Yet here the Lakers are on the verge of missing the playoffs once again.
Yeah, but if you're saying that LeBron and the Lakers are synonymous, then me bringing up the Lakers' history is pertinent to what LeBron is going through. And LeBron went through it by himself as a Cleveland Cavalier before, as you mentioned, not making the playoffs. As you mentioned, not having that superstar next to him because Anthony Davis is not available right now and Russell Westbrook is not the best fit for this dynamic. So LeBron James is not hitting rock bottom. He's been here before. He actually chose this route. Not only did he choose the Los Angeles Lakers, but he constructed this team. So you chose your own demise. You chose to run into your own adversity. You chose to run into the hurdles instead of running over them. Now we're here. But this is not rock bottom in terms of what LeBron James has experienced and what LeBron James can actually attain going forward. They still have what they need in terms of their balancing act, in terms of their dynamic duo. Their centerpieces are still something they could believe in. LeBron James, balling out of control this year, 29 points a game, having one of his best years, especially in recent times. Anthony Davis, when healthy, think about this. Imagine this. I don't know if you've ever hit rock bottom. We're going to talk about that. But if you've ever been in despair, there's not a lot of things you're grasping for and can grab and give you confidence. That's why you're at rock bottom. But if these Lakers can go to bed at night, it's like, all we need is AD to get healthy. And then all of a sudden we got something. That's not rock bottom, big dog. That's just a little adversity coming your way. And sooner or later, the tides are going to shift.
Let me give it to you like this then, Sel. Before every football game, our defensive coordinator, and I'm assuming yours as well, would say one specific thing to us, maybe even our head coach. Let's take away their will, man. Let's take away their want to. Because if you take away somebody's will and they don't even want to fight no more, that's when you know you've taken everything from them. Now, that is colloquially speaking when you're talking about a game of football, but you can also talk about life. I'm sure we've all been in unfortunate situations and circumstances where someone is still fighting for their life, albeit cancer, albeit anything, and it's just like, you know what? I'm tired of fighting. And we've all had to face that very depressed and somber conversation. We all have gone through that, and hopefully if you haven't, you will never have to. What I will say is this. When you take away somebody's will to keep going on the football field in sports, that is a matter of hitting rock bottom. When I watch these Los Angeles Lakers versus the Pelicans, they didn't have a will to keep fighting. So errant passes from LeBron James, THT not even attempting to go for the ball, Russell Westbrook looking at missed shots as if it's a regular occurrence. It was as if the Lakers didn't even have a will to keep on keeping on. That, if nothing else, was a sign of rock bottom. Because as y'all sitting here watching it, y'all tell me if it looks like they even trying, if they're trying to fight, if they want to keep on keeping on. Yeah. Letting the open defenders stay open, not closing out on wide open shooters. To me, if there is no greater signal of hitting rock bottom, the signal of hitting rock bottom is the lack of will to keep going and the lack of will to keep fighting. And it no longer appears, at least not in the most recent game for the Los Angeles Lakers, that they even had a will to keep fighting. And that's the greatest sign of hitting the lowest point of one's basketball career.
Yeah, but you get 82 chances. You don't get 82 lives, so it's not a death. And rock bottom is the closest thing to death. At least that's what it feels like when you're in rock bottom. Therefore, you don't have anything. First of all, how many Laker games have you been watching? That happens every game, like every other game for the Lakers this year. Bruh, Russell Westbrook been thrown into the homies in the fifth row. Every game you've seen this year, I don't know what happened to THT, all this talk and all that game he had before. What had happened was, right, you know, he's gotten exposed. Let's just say that for what it is. And no Anthony Davis. That's not the rock bottom and despair that I'm speaking of. To your point, our defensive coordinator used to come up here. He used to say that same kind of stuff. That's why they all got that same job. Most of them ain't good head coaches because that's all they say. They say the same thing. But it's crazy. I posted this, and this is real. One of them used to say, you attack a man's weakness, you can beat him. You attack a man's strength, you can break him. I'm like, damn, that's getting at it. How many times have you ever said, what's the best thing you do? Now let me beat you at that. You broke somebody. Lakers are not broken. They're not at their best. Anthony Davis is not out there. Now, if Anthony Davis out there tilting for 30 points a game, LeBron doing what he's doing, 29 points a game, MVP candidate, and they still getting beat down, now we at rock bottom. Let me bring some somber moments to this show. I know you miss me, and you know you miss my levity, even though I got to break it down like this. Let me tell you about rock bottom in sports, but first, rock bottom in life. Two toughest moments. I want to hear your two toughest moments, so even though you're going to head nod, start thinking of yours. Here's my two toughest moments in life. First one was when I had to actually close the casket on my own mother. Now, you ain't supposed to be able to do this. Like, they supposed to do that. I don't know why I paid them full price, because they are supposed to close the damn casket, right? But for some reason, son, older, okay, I did it. Woo! Brother, how you make it get down. That hurt. And another one was my grandmother, when they were talking about her and they were like, look, it's basically over. But no one else had the collective strength to do it. And I did. One, because I already been through rock bottom in my head. And two, I was like, this is better for her, better for us. That's rock bottom in life. Let's talk about rock bottom in sports. Rock bottom in sports is when you're like, turn on. And they're like, what'd you say? Turn on. What'd you say? Rock bottom in sports, maybe for you, is when you're like, I don't have any more places to go, or I don't want to go to said places. Tell me a rock bottom story, and then try to make sure you relate that to what these Lakers are doing.
But the thing for me, Sel, is as it pertains to LeBron James, his rock bottom can only get so low. Why? So I think you're trying to attribute LeBron James' rock bottom to the rock bottom of that of Kyle Kuzma. And we can't do that.
Let's go.
Right? Even the great Michael Jordan in his last years with the Wizards still gave us a 50-point game. That was Jordan's rock bottom.
LeBron is still balling. The team's not. And the Wizards.
So that's where I'm at is
barely playoff.
For what LeBron and who LeBron James is, it just can't get any worse because it hasn't gotten any worse. As bad as it can get for LeBron James is missing the playoffs. LeBron James will never be on the 30th team in the National Basketball Association. That's just not possible for LeBron James.
No.
But as bad as it can get is as bad as it's ever been. And it is currently as bad as it's ever been for LeBron James. So for that reason, I'm like, it's as bad as LeBron has ever known. It is the very bottom.